Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
74-degree air temperature. We have a dew point of 72, humidity at 93%, and fairly clear skies. Across the region, we have temperatures that are pleasant enough, coming in about where we would be at this time of year. 73 in Wauchula, 72 in Arcadia, Myakka at 73, Parrish at 74, Bradenton 74, so Sarasota. Venice at 75 and Boca Grande coming in at 76, 73 in Northport. A general northeasterly wind flow has been with us through the last several days. That is actually around an area of high pressure located back to the west. And with that northeast wind comes a few scattered showers picked up off Atlantic waters and slung back toward the other coast. It could also be a little bit of a rip current problem along those area waterways as well on the east coast. But for us, we haven't seen a lot of rainfall, but yesterday we saw a few scattered showers, quick, fast-moving, low-volume showers that came and went pretty quickly, about a 20% coverage, and I think today we'll do just about the same thing. Not a lot in the way of any radar echoes across the region currently, a few scattered showers out in Gulf waters, but all in all, we're looking for a pretty benign start to the day weather-wise, so it should be no problem for your morning commute, and even for your commute home, I don't think there'll be a lot of rainfall around. As far as the deep south goes, everything looks pretty good in terms of any kind of flying that you might be doing today. The airport hubs of Atlanta and Charlotte all look pretty good for us. We do have some scattered showers in the northeast, and there could be a problem there at the Chicago airport today. But all airports in the northeast are running fine, despite the fact that Tropical Storm Jose continues to spin around out here in a very slow fashion. This thing is going to do crazy loop-de-loops out there near the coastline of the northeast. Its a major impact, I think, is going to be on the waterways, kind of an angry surf anywhere from the Jersey Shore on up through Montauk, around in there, Nantucket, and seeing some pretty gusty winds and some rough surf as well. All of this producing a little bit of elevated tide, but not much more in terms of any kind of dangerous weather up there. We do have some scattered showers and the potential for some thunderstorms in parts of the northern tier and the heartland, Chicago up to Minneapolis, St. Paul, back towards Kansas City. All could see some isolated showers around today. The deep south, yeah, you may see a few scattered thunderstorms, but nothing really heavy. And then in the southern tip of the state of Florida, we do have a chance at seeing a thunderstorm or two. But I'll tell you what, mostly it's going to be on the other coast and in the southern tip. Yes, we're included in this area of general summertime kind of thunderstorms, but for the most part, I think that's going to be confined to other places in Florida. We do have Jose, as I mentioned, continuing to spin away from us. Under the influence of a trough of low pressure, it will eventually downgrade into just a low pressure area. And then a high pressure ridge back to the west continues to produce the flow around it out of the northeast for us. That takes showers that develops along this kind of trough of low pressure that meanders across south central Florida. Takes those showers and kind of slings them back toward the center part of the state from the Atlantic coastline. Locally, we may have a few showers grown here, but really they'll be isolated in nature. We'll have a warm afternoon with daytime highs to top out near the 90 mark and a feels-like temperature that'll be closer to the upper 90s. As far as the total rainfall amounts go, well, I think that'll be reserved for mostly South Florida, the bigger rainfalls. I think for us, we're talking, you know, really most places in the hundredths of an inch or tenths of an inch, and that will be about it today. So 3 systems. One was Lee. Lee is forecast to regenerate, about a 60% chance of that traveling up into the open waters of the Atlantic. Jose spins around in place basically, and Maria, a Category 4 storm, now making landfall in parts of Puerto Rico. It is going to carve its way across the eastern section of the island, reemerge out in the Caribbean, or in the Atlantic rather, and lift north, probably bypassing most of the United States, maybe giving some heavy surf to parts of the North Carolina or South Carolina coast. But other than that, again, so far, looks like we're pretty lucky on that storm. Northeast at about 10 knots for boaters today, light chop, 2-foot seas. And the forecast calls for increasing rain chances toward the weekend. Back to you.